Welcome to Thriving Tribesmen. My name is Kuri, your host, and I'm excited to be making this episode. So, one of the things that will give you the biggest result is the way you respond when the seduction is not going well. So, for example, as you touching her up, or you're being playful, you're being funny, you're doing certain things to sort of move things along. She might respond and then say no, or she gives you a negative response. And generally, that in my personal life, I don't look at it as a rejection. I just look at it that maybe I've just gone ahead of where she's comfortable to go with. So I scale things back and then sort of start building up again so she becomes more comfortable. But most people focus on the negative side, and then they feel like when things are going positive, their response doesn't matter. But your response is probably more important when it goes well than when it doesn't go well. And what does that mean? So, for example, if you were within seduction, and let's say you're about 50% into the seduction, or when I say 50%, she's 50% ready to, she's halfway to getting ready to have sex. And then you're doing your thing, and then she has a good response. And situationally, it's not possible for you to have sex. But then you get overly excited, or you run away with it. So we used to do this sometimes. So I'll be out in the clubs and we're picking up women when I was still doing pickup artists. And I know a few times when things got like that. So I'm talking to her, and then we start touching, we start hugging, we start kissing. But because I'm now kissing her, all of a sudden I take that as confirmation that she's willing to go with me to have sex. And the moment I got too excited and started really, it changed the way I was behaving, and I started exhibiting these behaviors that then caused her to feel anxiety and caused her to feel like, oh no, maybe this is too much too soon. So having the balance to keep your state neutral when things go well becomes the most important piece within a seduction. And what does that mean? That I'm not saying you stop the process of you going to bed. No, you continue with the process, but your state has to remain in a neutral place. So when she rejects you, quote unquote, you stay neutral. When she gives you a positive response, you stay neutral. And this is a very important thing, because most guys get carried away with it, and they say, you know what, things were going well. Then when I tried to make a move, then it sort of fell apart, and I don't know why. It falls apart when that happens. And some of you guys are in a sexless relationship, not because she doesn't want to have sex. It's because when she gives you a good response, the way you react to that good response ends up putting sexual pressure into your interaction. And therefore, you now find yourself in this situation where it causes more friction than it actually causes more seduction within the relationship. So it's a very important thing that I wanted to point out, that in my own life, it's something that I really monitor. So we're constantly playing, we're constantly playful, we're constantly playing, have seductive touches and so on, and vice versa. So she will do the same to me. But when she does, I don't react in a way where it's like, oh my God, she's touched me, and I go absolutely crazy. I keep my state at a very neutral place, and allow that as we are growing within, getting closer to where we're actually having sex, we're doing it together, and it's all measured without anybody sort of overstretching, or at least going ahead of the whole thing. So it's a very important part. And I wanted to point this out because I think a lot of guys, they struggle with this. I struggled with it, especially when I was out trying to pick up girls when I was a pickup artist. This was one of the things where when it was time to ask for the number, and I remember there was a whole stages of it. Whenever she gave me the number, because I got the number, and this was my one goal that I wanted, I would get, my state would get really, really excited, and then by showing that I'm too excited, she would realize that, okay, this guy doesn't do this very often, so it gave her an unnerving feeling that, oh, I don't want to be the girl who's going to be putting him through his paces. So when I now try and ring this girl, she would not be even interested in answering the phone, because that good response that she gave me altered my state in a way that put me ahead of where things should be. So when I got control, or at least exposed enough from collecting numbers, and I wasn't being altered where numbers were now just not a problem, I could get numbers all the time. And more importantly, I could get those people not to flake, which was a very important piece. And then same with kissing. When I was now leading up to the kissing and I got the signs for kissing, I'd get ahead of myself. And then it went a long time when I couldn't just, get the kiss close or whatever. And again, this was depending on how I was responding. When things were going good, my response would sort of almost douse a good flame, lack of a better word. So it's a very important piece. How you react when things are going good has got an effect on how long you stay within a sexless relationship. So thank you very much for listening, guys. I'll be catching you guys soon. Take care.